Hi. The voice broke during that little hello.
You're now a man.
Yes.
Welcome to No Word Out, a conversational gaming podcast.
Yeah.
We are recording in the new digs again.
New digs.
New digs.
New equipment.
Is it still new digs? Yeah, I think for the first couple of months you can call it new digs.
You can call it new digs for now. Yeah.
Basically, I guess let's just jump straight in. You been doing some gaming?
I've been playing.
A little bit of gaming?
I've been playing some games. I've been playing loads, actually.
Big one.
I have been playing Gianna Sisters.
What? Is it another panty game?
No, it's not. It's a platformer.
Right.
2D fashion.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of, the whole Great Gianna Sister thing?
No. I think you've told me about this before.
Maybe, but I don't know if I've told the world, so the world is
Right.
here. Back in the Commodore 64 days.
This isn't the witch with the hair, is it?
No.
Oh no, that was some genie.
That was... Oh, no, you were thinking Shantae. I was thinking Bayonetta. It's like, it's nothing to do with Bayonetta.
No.
Shantae, that's the nowhere near as good as Wonder Boy game they made.
Right.
This is a 2D platformer. The Great Gianna Sisters was basically a clone of Super Mario Brothers.
Right.
Hence the name similarity you're starting to understand there.
Okay.
And it got pulled from shelves allegedly in the 80s because it was too similar. There was a threatened lawsuit, and they're like, "Yeah, okay, we'll stop doing it." But apparently, it was actually for what it was. Right, like as much as it was a clone, it was a good game at the time. So the license lay dormant or whatnot. So now, probably 5 years ago, they did this. They released the Gianna Sisters Twisted Dreams. It's called.
Okay.
And it's a 2D platformer. This is I spoke the other week about how I fancied playing games in shorter bursts.
Yeah.
I don't want to commit to a 2.5 hour session all the time. I do like doing that, but I also sometimes I do want just a half-hour burn.
Yeah.
I bought this super cheap on sale. I think it was 12 quid it goes for on PSN.
Okay.
And I got it for like £2.50. So cha-ching. It's 2D platformer. It's the whole premise of it is that it's 2D, but it's 3D in as much as the graphics are 3D.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's pretty. I can't work it out because it's, in my opinion, it's not. Because it looks like it's been slapped together like a Mario Maker level, like everything's done in tiles almost.
Right. Yeah.
You see what I mean? But essentially, the twist on the game is that I don't quite understand this either. So explain this to me. All I've said so far is I don't understand. So the plot is that there's these two sisters, and one gets taken away, and the other chases her.
Okay.
But then you play as both the sisters, so I don't quite understand. The two sisters are the same person.
Right.
So essentially, one player running along, jumping on things' heads to kill them in a Mario fashion.
Yeah.
But you press a button and you switch from one sister to the other, and there's like a rock and roll kind of almost gothic sister who when you're her, the whole landscape changed to being kind of mushrooms and fairyland.
Yeah.
And then there's kind of the sweet and innocent one, and everything becomes quite like desolate.
Princess.
Miserable.
Oh, okay.
Right, the opposite of what you'd expect. But so you've got a button to switch between the two, which changed the landscape a bit. Not like dramatically as something like you did in Soul Reaver, where like the world is literally changing shape. But sometimes the door will open or spikes will disappear with one or the other. Sometimes platforms, you can see that there would be a platform as one, but you can't stand on it, and then you switch to the other and it's there.
All right. So basically, that's how you get through certain places by switching.
Yeah, and so one of them. But in addition to that, there's a bit more because one of the punkier girl can do like a dash, which is an attack.
Right.
And she can do it in direction, so you can shoot yourself up in the air, and you can jump, then shoot yourself up in the air.
Yeah.
Do a high jump. If you're doing the dash, then if you hit an enemy, that you kill it.
Right.
But the way the controls work is there's one of the shoulder buttons switches you between the two girls, simple enough.
Yeah.
But you could be the girl who doesn't dash, and then press the dash button, and you'll do a dash, and at the same time transform into that girl.
Yeah.
And switch the background.
All right. Okay.
But there are items.
So there are other ways to switch between them other than just pressing the switch button.
Yeah, the other girl has this spinning move, which is kind of like a float.
Right.
Like where you jump, it gives you a bit of a hop, and then you float down. Instead of dropping to the ground, you float down slowly, so you can cover bigger gaps.
So
but whilst you're spinning, whilst you're spinning, you can change to the other girl again. But but you'll still be spinning, but you can't start spinning as this girl. Yeah. So there's a bit of...
So are there platforming elements where it's like, right, I need to jump on that platform, and then once I've jumped off that, change mid in the air to the other person, so that platform appears. A lot of that. That's like the main gameplay, I take.
Yeah, basically. So, and if the one that can do a little dash could, like, if you hit a wall, you ricochet off the wall.
Right.
So this little dash, if you hit the wall, you then essentially, for the same distance, will dash again off the ricochet. So they give you thin passages, and you'll bounce around like a pinball, fly around these areas. And as you go through these areas, you can switch between which girl you are, and you have to pick up gems as you go, which are like coins in any game, collectibles. The red ones can only be watched picking up one. If you watch one character, the yellow one's the other, and then I think they're blue or white. Can be picked up by either.
Right.
And yeah, it's good.
And what do they get you other than points? Or is it just
at the end of a level, you get a percentage complete.
Right. Okay.
It's quite a heavy focus on that, saying that you. Like I said, it's 3D but 2D, because if it's done on a 2D plane, the graphics are all 3D and they are polygon graphics.
Yeah.
But there's no kind of turning around corners or anything like you would in Pandemonium or anything like that. It's more left to right. Yeah. You can be certain things, and it's good. It's solid, but it's just lacks a little personality.
Right.
But it's fun. It's giving me what I want. £2.50. I'm laughing. You know what I mean? It's the director's cut I got, 'cause I think it actually came out 360.
Okay.
But playing on PS4, and there's 4 main worlds to it. Yeah. I think it's the Director's cut. The word owl is shuffled in the middle, right. And the last boss is like the last boss. In the last there's an extra world where you fight something owl based.
Owl based. It's a hoot. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't got that far. I'm over halfway.
Right.
And I just do a couple of levels at a time. If you're watching the stream, you'll see me play it.
So is it like levels, or is it like...
It's levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's levels. It's Rayman Legends-esque, but single player. But it's it's all right.
You'll find about level, like...
That's why I wanted it, though. I wanted levels at that point, you know.
But I also find levels sometimes make me want to play less. Because it's kind of like, when there's a natural stopping point, I think, oh yeah, I'm going to stop. Sometimes if there isn't a natural stopping point in like an RPG or something like that, I'll sort of play longer, because the idea of stopping doesn't really occur to me. Like, I know there's obviously quests and stuff like that. Again, this is why I got it,
because I wanted something I could play for half an hour.
Yeah, yeah.
And obviously, if you want something that if you get so far and have to quit, that you have to start a level again.
Yeah.
And I find doing 2 or 3 levels at a time.
Yeah.
But I will stop and think, you know what, I'm going to play something else now.
Yeah.
Which is, I haven't done that for quite a while, where I'll play a little bit of Horizon Chase Turbo, which we talked about before.
Yeah.
Then I'll do a little bit of Gianna Sisters, and then I might jump into something else.
Oh, man, that's like the old days.
Exactly. This is what I wanted. And it's filling that gap in a lovely way. It's, you used to like, turn it off, chuck another card in, do something else. I want to play Mickey Mouse now. No, so forget that. I want to fight something now. Yeah. It's that. And that's kind of, I thought, you know what, I just want a bit of that. And it's okay. It's a solid 7 out of 10 sort of game. It's not perfect. I glitched it the other day and fell into the eternal abyss.
Right. Yeah.
I fell out of bounds somehow.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, I want to restart, but now I can't restart. Well, I can, but I'd have to lose all my progress, because I was at the end of the level when I fell into the abyss. And I don't want to do the level again now, so that's tomorrow's job. So, right, let's draw a line under this today.
Turned on the no clipping cheat and just run through everything.
Yeah. No, so what about you?
The Borderlands.
More.
I'm gonna. I mean, I've been playing other stuff, but I'm gonna talk about the Borderlands, because I finished the Borderlands. Borderlands 3. This is obviously.
Is the ending any better? I say the ending. Is the final encounter any better? Because they're not. These types of games don't have the best ending.
Yeah, I think, like, without any spoilers, every boss in the game was just a bullet sponge.
Right.
I mean, there were ones that you had to sort of just avoid certain special attacks, but no one was kind of like, well, this is the method you do it.
Okay.
No one was
you
like...
could fudge your way through it, so you could take, I'm taking hits, but I'm okay.
Yeah, and basically it was like, find a weapon that they're weak to, as in, like corrosive or electric or fire or whatever.
Cryo, tell us the other way.
Cryo, or not. just find your highest damage per second.
My shotgun.
And then find the weak point on them. Usually it's their head.
Yeah.
But some monsters it will be, like
Or
an
wearing a
eye
suit
or
or
this or that, yeah.
Yeah, well, they're the ones with the legs, didn't they?
Yeah.
So stuff like that. They'll be on crystal legs on the things.
Yeah, there were a couple of things, a couple of the Vault beasts, I forget what they're called, the Vaults, what are they called? Monsters. Guardians. The Vault Guardians, sorry. Yeah. Are a little bit
They're like super
similar.
versions of a normal, though, aren't they? That's how the bosses used to be. They were like, this is like what you've been fighting all the way here, but it's a big version.
Yeah, some were actually kind of like full on. This side of the map is now the Vault Guardian,
right.
And you're on a platform and you've got to shoot it. And
that was more what we saw in the second one again, because this is why I played it. That was the DLC did that, and the last boss did that, but a lot of the rest of the story didn't.
Yeah, there is nothing.
The general story was just, this is just a big version of what you've been fighting so far, or a big version of what you fought somewhere else in a different colour. And that's where I was a little bit disappointed with this. That's why I asked: was the big boss actually worth it? Were you a bit like, let's? Because boss battles, boss battles used to be the highlight of games in general.
The Borderlands 2 final boss. Obviously it had the lava coming up and you had to jump onto certain parts to sort of stay. Yeah. There's none of that here. No? You're just in an arena.
Right, and you're just shooting it and dodging.
Shoot it lots.
Did it spawn stuff, like enemies, like smaller ones?
No.
Because I don't think, again, they didn't do that in the previous ones. It was just concentrate on him, dodge what he's doing, but concentrate on him.
But yeah, so... the one that I wanted to point out was I came across the most ridiculous bug I think I've ever come across in a game.
Love it.
In the fact that I just don't understand how it worked, how that happened.
It'll be patched out by the time people listen to this, probably.
Possibly, and I think it was patched out by the time in a way anyway. So basically, picture the scene. I'm cruising through the game, I'm doing what I usually do. I've done every side quest up to this point. Like, there is no, other than just wandering around, there is no grinding to be done.
Yep.
As in most Borderlands games, most areas are sort of set to a level.
Yep.
Which I am 3 or 4 levels above.
Because you've done all the side quests.
Because I've done all the side quests and so come across the third boss from the end.
Okay.
It's a story boss, and it makes sense. Drop into this arena, it's just me and them, and they start off with this sort of basically a 360 wave attack.
Right.
So,
what did you do with that? In this game,
you ultimately just get hit by it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, sometimes it's quite the way that these games are structured. It's like, it's knocked all your shield off. That is the desired effect. It doesn't hit your health, just your shield. And now you've got to dodge, otherwise you're losing your shield.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
you can dodge.
And that's the thing, and that's the way most games will deal with something. So basically, drop into the arena, 360 wave attack, unavoidable attack. One shots me.
Really?
One shots me and I die.
I hate that. But
I haven't died in this game apart from falling off stuff and being shot a few times because
I forget you do have the edges in it, don't you?
Yeah. So like the character I'm playing has a pet who by this point I've leveled up to the point that he can resurrect me. Yep. So even if there isn't any,
I forget the guy's name, but I was reading about it the other day.
Flak.
With a 4 instead of an A.
Yes. And my little dude can come along and heal me and stuff like this. Yep. But a 360 kills him as well.
Because he levels up with you, doesn't he?
Yeah,
basically.
He levels up with you, and he can fall, and you can resurrect each other, etc. Blah blah blah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I was just like, and also there were no mini baddies around as well. So ultimately, you couldn't shoot yourself out. Fight for life.
You're basically left in fight for life with no chance of surviving.
Because not being funny, in that time you can take 5% of his health off.
Yeah.
So I die, and I think, right, okay. I guess that isn't an unavoidable attack. It's
must be something. Yeah.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't an unavoidable attack because it comes as little orbs that come directly out of him. Yeah. But not being funny, the gap between the orbs is about a character width.
Yeah.
So you're going to get caught. Even if I get through the first 2, you're going to get hit by 1 or 2 of the other. Sure. So basically, I tried.
So literally, sorry, just to clarify that you got hit by one of these
orbs.
And it killed you, basically.
Killed me.
Okay.
Flat out killed me.
And they all look the same, these orbs?
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, don't eat my black one.
No,
Like that.
just all these orbs. So it flat out killed me. And I was like, right, okay, well, that's a bit weird. So then I put on a bigger shield, because, obviously you can get turtle shields, which have got the really big, it's slow to rebuild, but I thought at least that extra
Take a bump.
will be. So yeah, get hit again after sort of avoiding the first 2 or something like this, because obviously the whole time you're avoiding the orbs, you're not shooting him.
No.
So I was like, right, okay, well, got clipped by it, and it took off all of my shield, 90% of my health. Right. And then basically immediately afterwards, there's a dash attack that he does to follow it up and hit you. And I don't even know if that's avoidable, to be honest.
The thing with Borderlands is that you don't have, as a default move for everyone, a way of dodging, do you?
You can strafe slowly, but
or
jumping about.
But it's floaty jumps to a degree. It's Halo style floaty jumps. Yeah, but there's no kind of quick to the side or anything.
And this is the problem when they ever try and introduce any of the leveling. Platforming that they try and do. You can't control the character quick enough or well enough in first person.
You need to play it like Jumping Flash, where you look at the floor as you jump to make sure that you're kind of on target.
So that's the thing. So I was like, right, well, that's mental. I guess I'll give it one more go, because obviously you're losing money the whole time.
Yes, yeah.
And in this version,
this percentage, like a 10%.
So when
kind of hefty percentage.
when you've got a big old chunk of change in your pocket, you're like, I've just lost a lot of money. And the annoying thing with this is that before this boss, there weren't any vending machines.
Right.
So when you respawn full health, obviously, but you don't respawn your ammo.
No.
So I was down on ammo as well, so I was like, oh, hang on, I'm a load of money down and less ammo that I had before. Ammo is a big thing in this game.
You said that before, yeah.
It's a bit of an issue.
I don't know if I can.
Yeah,
I can handle that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there are characters that regen ammo, which is probably your bag.
That's the only character I can play as, but yeah.
So I was like, right, I'll give it one more go.
Yeah.
Got killed. Rage quit.
Yeah.
Absolute rage quit, because I was like, hang on, nothing has been difficult in this entire game.
It auto saves when you die, doesn't it? Does it do that? So like we say, you lose the money and there's no restart the save. It's like, no, you've lost that money.
Yeah, you've lost that money basically. So I was just like, right, okay, well, this is absolutely ridiculous. So I quit it off.
Did you chuck your pad?
I didn't chuck the pad, but I got a little monk on, and I sort of went away and I was like, well, I'm missing something.
Yeah.
So I looked online. Yeah. Because I was like, right, well, what do I have to do? Do I
shoot? You said so. I think we spoke last time. You said you haven't looked online.
Yeah, I've avoided looking online in this game, but I was like,
it's the right thing to do.
Do I shoot the orbs? Do I, what happened?
Am I missing a big red button that destroys the orbs? Or
Basically, people were like, restart the game.
When you say restart, do you mean reset or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reset the game. Go to quit. Basically the quit screen.
Yeah.
Go back into it. Try it again. I was like, what's that going to do? Did it?
Yeah.
Those orbs were now taking off 10% of my health.
Nothing right.
10% of my shield.
Yeah. So you were allowed to get hit by them.
Yeah.
Like you were.
So the next time that I fought him, I didn't at any point lose my shield.
and that's obviously what the intended level of that attack was supposed to be.
Yeah.
From the outset.
So basically, it was just like, and I looked online, and a lot of people have said this. If you just play through and then you go straight into it, the first time you fight him, he will be massively overpowered, and you have to quit.
Secret boss overpowered.
Yeah, you have to quit to the title screen.
Yeah, and reload. Go to the same save point.
Go back in, and he's fine. Is that not the weirdest?
It's clearly not supposed to be that way, is it?
Some people on Reddit, and I mean, obviously this is Reddit, was like, oh yeah, it's like the game trolling you. That's the whole point of it. It's like,
I don't think it's the point. I don't think it's the point of it.
Like a rage quit, and I was like, nah, that just sounds awful.
It depends what warning and warm up there would be to that. That could be done. I doubt it was done.
Basically, the theory is that if you load up the game and you go straight into it, it doesn't have time to apply the patches, the live patches. So what they're saying
still pretty poor.
So what they're saying is that if you rush into this screen straight away, or basically, it comes up and you go play game continue straight away, it doesn't have time to look on the internet to work out if there's this new stuff.
That makes this this goes to the idea of that you're making your problem my problem.
But that was the thing. But basically, what they said is that when people quit or when people go back to the main screen,
this is the whole. Have you tried logging out and logging back in? Like
exactly.
That's the which might be the truth, but it shouldn't be.
But it 100% worked.
I'm sure.
And I don't
know.
Is that not mental? Afterwards, I was just like, that is
must
weird.
They must be able to patch that out quick. They must just change the original parameters to being what they want the new ones to be.
But that's the thing. So we're on four updates, patches coming in.
And it's still doing it.
Well, I presumably got back to that, but like,
how many?
I was definitely 3 patches in by the time I got to that point.
So they must have known. Yeah. I get if the guy, it was a Handsome Jack thing, and he was trolling you in a funny fashion.
Yeah.
As he did it. He makes it. I mean, Metal Gear plays these little trolling jokes on you as you play it, and it's kind of clear. I don't know. When you do it, you're like, I get it now. But it's not.
I can imagine if it was like Handsome Jack being kind of like, maybe you should quit and come back later. And,
exactly. That's what I mean. We were giving a bit of that
because the next time you played it was easy.
Yeah. No, exactly. But it's not that type of game in general.
I know, but
it's not a Hideo Kojima kind of.
I was so annoyed. I lost a load of money as well.
I really did.
But not being funny. If I'd have been,
I love the fact because it's the same as me.
I know you. You sit down and you will play it until you can work out. That's
I'll bite my controller.
But I'm saying that you've got a lot more patience with losing stuff than I have because you play like the platformers, the Twitch platformers that you will be like.
I know, but I have to be perfect at these things.
Like I've died like 10 times, but I know how to do this jump, so I'll do it again. Whereas I'm like, if I don't make it 2 times, that game's off. So like,
bin it.
So I don't know how many people would have lost like all of their money trying to do this. Now, don't get me wrong, money isn't.
I think we underestimate people that would look this up that quickly.
Yeah,
which is disappointing. It's a shame that we're actually in this sort of society. But do you know what? That type of comment does bring us nicely on to our topic for the week.
The future.
Because gaming ain't the same as it was when we was little.
Gaming's changed.
This is your topic. You came up with the idea of this.
I did.
We're going to jump. We're going to take our time machine here.
NOWO time machine.
I brought my little time machine with me. And we're going to jump in this time machine. We're going to go 5 years in the future. Then we're going to go 10 years in the future. And then we're going to go 25 years into the future.
The distant future.
And we're going to see what is the state of gaming at each of those points. Or what are the...
I'll be 60, Chris. 60.
Wow. I didn't really look at it that way.
60 years old. I'll be like only 25 years away from possibly retiring.
I don't need to talk about this on here, but I work at a job that includes looking at care in an elderly fashion. Yeah. And I saw this care home the other day that has like a game den in it. Cool. It wasn't like a full on, but it basically went downstairs and there was kind of a neon pool table.
Yeah.
Pac-Man in one corner and Space Invaders in the other. I was like, when I get that old, I'll go there. But actually, I want more than there is there. The thing is, arthritis is a terrible, slow thing for everybody, but it's going to be worse when you can't play your games no more.
Yeah. Or are we? But yeah, it's 5 years. Hopefully, you won't be in a home.
I don't know. I've played a lot of games. My hands are going to fall apart at some point.
Yeah, but you won't be allowed to retire in 5 years. They're going to have at least another 40 years out of you before you're allowed to.
Yeah, they're going to ring us pretty hard. But anyway, let's go forward 5 years. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
You go first.
I'll go first. So the way I've picked, we've come up. So we like to do these topics in a way that we come up with a loose topic, which we just have, and then we go and think about it. We don't confer on these things. We might have crossover ideas.
We barely talk to each other.
It's true. We talk through memes.
We meme each other, yeah.
And memes and gifs, and or gifs as you talk to the girl next to me at work, but. Calls them GIFs.
No, Giffies.
Of course, used to call them memes. But basically, I'm going to frame this around a word, and then I'm going to elaborate.
All right.
Okay. Does that help? Is that
you do you, Chris. You do you.
5 years in the future, mobile phone or cell phone, whichever part of the world you come from, full kind of integration.
I thought you were going to do one word.
I don't know, I'm in a phrase.
Right. Okay.
Phone. This is the word.
Phone.
We've got, there's a truth behind this.
Okay.
which people need to know, which is originally the idea was 2 years, not 5.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what?
It was 2, 5, 10, but then I thought, let's go crazy, and because like 25 is more fun than 10.
Exactly. So we up the ante, but no, we obviously phones are integrated now.
Yeah.
However, they're not truly integrated. They can be instead of a controller. Because everyone has a phone, and if you want to play 8 players, you don't have 8 controllers, but you've got 8 phones in the room. That's how it works now.
So you're not talking about mobile gaming.
No.
You're talking about, in essence, using your mobile almost like a
secondary or ancillary to your gaming.
Right. Okay.
So imagine in simple terms, GTA with all of the phone aspects, which actually are in the game, and your map and all that, being actually on your phone.
Wow.
Imagine playing Silent Hill and getting random fucking freaky phone calls on your actual phone. If you take that idea, extend it slightly with the Stadia, as we understand it's now pronounced, at the end, and
Stadia.
And I don't know how science works, but the reason I pick on the Stadia is because of the Google aspects. Obviously, phones being Android driven, which is all the Googs.
Yeah.
Has voice recognition aspects to it. You can integrate some of that too, which is why we're going 5 years, not 2.
Okay.
So imagine if you have to respond to something on there and it can do a minor amount of voice recognition to what you might say.
Yeah.
To it, to do that in the game as you're creeping around a creepy haunted house, or if you're doing something else.
Yeah.
To have that level of integration where you would have the phone there, you have the controller there, rather than looking to the corner. You could then have... There's this dream that game developers seem to love but never quite realise, of having a HUD-free screen.
Yeah.
And Nintendo play with the idea of having a second screen in your hands.
Yeah.
Which works for them, and that's great. But the way that the other markets that people still want to play, their PlayStations, their Xboxes, their Stadias, is going to be everyone's got a phone. And right now, do you know what? They can't categorically say everyone has a phone, because they don't. But 5 years' time, everybody does have a smartphone. Let's be honest. Who's gaming?
That's what I'm saying. I'd say all.
But you've also got to be global in that opinion, and then it starts to shift a little, because not all parts of the world do it. But for 5 years, you're going to be that much closer to it. But rather than sitting there answering quiz questions on your phone, which is what you do now, Nikki, you would also be. You have to have your phone there. You can charge it through the controller and also make sure it's on, because that's always the problem. Wireless charging will be even further along than it is now at that point anyway.
Yeah, like you said, some things are doing it. Like GTA did some sort of fun things with the phone, GTA 5.
You mean on the screen or on the actual mobile?
No, that was more sort of playing around with the game away from
it.
You could play the stock market away from the game.
And that's the other thing I was going to say. You put that on a broader spec, like the Dreamcast was doing this years ago, where you used to take your little chows from Sonic Adventure and walk them around and get little bonuses. But if you can play a mobile game on your phone, that has a direct connection. I know we've all seen the Pokemon Go, the whole Pokemon Let's Go, where disappointingly the whole point of Pokemon Let's Go is restricted by how basic the mobile game is.
Yeah.
Build it the other way around and make the mobile game as advanced as the main game to a degree. Yeah. But don't frame it around. But take what you know about mobile gaming, take what you know about console gaming, merge the two together in such a way.
No, I do like.
But that's going to be much more commonplace. Is what I'm going for.
I agree with that.
And I think that could be a beautiful thing if it's done right.
Beautiful thing.
And also, the way that it would have to be encouraged would be at the moment, if you do these things, you have to have the app for the game.
Yeah.
But rather than that, to be honest, the way they'd probably have to do it realistically is to have the PlayStation app that has the versatility to handle.
Yeah.
This, which to be honest, Sony are getting their subscription because they want a little bit of money.
That's the thing. The only thing I can think of is that some people wouldn't want that crossover into, say I'm playing the PS4, I don't necessarily want to give it access to my phones and my photos and stuff like this.
I think that in 5 years' time, I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to. I think it's going to have to be going that way with everything else. So we might as well go that way.
They're going to have all my nudes.
That's why it's 5 years. Exactly. Or you need to be off on the telly when you're doing inappropriately. Hey, do you want to play Lego Batman? Don't play Lego Batman with me no more.
I am the knight.
Over to you.
I've sort of done it in a different way. I'm going to make a challenging prediction.
Love it. I told you mine was a bit more straightforward than yours.
Yeah, mine's a bit boring. But in the fact that it's boring, it says something. I think in 5 years' time, Call of Duty and FIFA will still be the largest video games.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen the... this is going to date us, but have you seen all the news about the latest WWE?
No. WWE 20 came out yesterday, didn't it?
Yeah, they're already giving money back on it.
Oh, really?
It's broken as much as... What was the Assassin's Creed that was broken?
Oh, the one with the eyeballs floating
it's
about.
Doing that. It's doing that. You make your own character and the face disappears and it's just a lot of red hair and teeth and eyes. It's doing that. Apparently they got a new developer on it.
Yeah.
On the license, and it's not a new developer in the sense that it's brand new, but it's new to the license, and it's just not ready. They've been making jokes all week about the fact that the story mode on it, the introduction, looks like a PS2 game in as much that everybody's over gesturing and the mouths are flapping.
That's just WWE, though, isn't it?
Well, it is, but in game, it's not the games though. So no, yeah, it's awful. But no, exactly. Sorry,
so,
that's
basically what I'm saying is that much as we're talking about how games change and how the gaming world has changed so much, and this, like
we've had that news. Sorry, also to throw in there again. I know people hate putting in, but we've had the news this week too, dating us yet again. How they've had to pull things from Russia.
Yeah.
On that
and the China.
This is place, isn't it? They don't like the outside world.
But yeah, basically, my point is that COD and FIFA have been the biggest games for the last 10 years, and they will continue to be the biggest games for the next 10 years.
Do you think there will be challenges, like real challenges? Because there have been failed challenges, and there have been challenges that have died in the run. Yeah.
I think Call of Duty is more precarious than FIFA.
Do you?
Yeah. Because FIFA have the monopoly of the rosters tied up. That's
a licensing thing, which obviously Call of Duty can't have.
And that's what I'm saying. And that has FIFA
until they get MOD back.
But FIFA is in prime position and will be for years and years and years because arguably, and people have been saying this for years, is that PES is a better game.
Well, this is what I was going to say, but there was a time, and I literally remember the front of the issue. I think it was FIFA 10, which is what they called it then. It wasn't the 10 FIFA, but it was 2010.
Yeah.
And that was the one where, do you know what? I think going back to anything, I think that literally there was about 10 years of crap FIFA that still sold. Because FIFA, they wouldn't be making it if it didn't sell, but people were still buying it. But 10, they were like, do you know what? They've done it finally, and they are up there with PES now.
Yeah.
And actually, they're better than PES now.
Yeah.
And since then, it's gone from strength to strength. It probably hasn't jumped and jumped and jumped, but it's stayed up.
But the thing is that, do
you think PES will still be a thing?
I think PES, the fact that PES is still a thing now and hasn't had...
You have to remember that that's a Konami property.
Yeah.
And they like the monies too, but they like the mobile monies, so PES might shift.
But they like the money as in people are paying for the game. So people who like playing football games are buying PES. But
gamers are buying PES. People like football.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
FIFA.
Your couch peeps are buying FIFA because you don't want to play as London Blue.
Do you think it will still have the career modes? Which are
FIFA?
More for the gamers, arguably, than for the casual guys?
I mean, having played the latest ones, it's almost what they're doing now is the story modes are almost kind of like the tutorials of the new stuff that they've built into it.
So we're going to probably see more the likes of Titanfall, which is like you play a tutorial, which is 8 hours of greatness.
Yeah.
For you then to play 50 to 100 hours
or similar to earlier CODs where they had 5 or 6 levels, and then so basically what you want to play COD, you play 4 hours single player, and then we want you to pay the next 400 hours as
online and do that.
And that will bring me on to my second thing is that by this time we will move to a games as service model.
Okay.
And loot boxes will be banned by governments.
I think we're on the way to
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So basically, what you'll get what I think you'll get is you will get COD and you will get FIFA, but you will be working towards more a games as service model, as in it's
Do you think it's going to come bring it back then?
I don't think it will be the days where you basically spend 60 quid and then that's your game and that's all you need to spend.
No. But rather than you bring back the Borderlands, right? Yeah. You know what you're buying. You get what you're buying.
Yeah, that's all they'll do.
That's the trick.
That's all they'll do. They'll just take out the random bit of it.
It is. I mean, to declare it gambling is a bit strong.
Yeah.
To say it's unfair is completely all right in my opinion. It is unfair. It's not. It's not the way that I'd like people to do business. So yeah, I think some of the stuff I had later on for a few years in the future, involves not so much the government, but involves society a bit more. Yeah. But
there's nothing to stop them saying. So basically, say what at the moment you get like double XP and stuff like that on COD. Yeah. There's nothing to say that
they do on certain weekends and stuff, don't they? And that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. But like if you say if you play,
that's just promoting people to play the game that they've already bought. Yeah. As opposed to randomly maybe getting this. Yeah. You could have won this, but you didn't.
If they turn around and say, I'll tell you what, right? It doesn't cost you any money, but every 10 games that you play,
which encourages you to play,
you'll get another weapon.
Spin of the wheel.
And if you pay $4.99, or if you pay $2.99, the next time you get a free weapon,
you give it.
It'll be a gold one. It's still randomised and it's still like this, but it's no longer.
There'll be another way to work it.
No longer just there's a box and what's in the box. No, what's in the box? What's in the box?
I bought these random boxes. You got one from Comic-Con, do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess what was in it?
Is there anything that is actually still in this new digs that you have here?
One mug.
Which one? Is that the Matrix mug?
The Matrix mug. Just because I don't drink hot drinks.
Must be nearly 15 years old.
Yeah, but I don't drink hot drinks.
Must be a dead spider in it or something.
I never had mugs, so I was like, oh, mug, wicked.
There we go. We've got Paul Frank kind of monkey thing in there too.
Yeah,
I think I remember right.
And some pencils, some
the guys that were selling those at Comic-Con did not look like they belonged at Comic-Con. They looked like they should be standing at a car boot somewhere or some sort of market.
It was, and you still bought one.
We had a budget. I word with that.
10 years, Chris. Take me 10 years.
10 years in the future?
Yeah.
Let me spin the wheel. Turn the dial and tip the time machine up. 10 years. And we've already seen this. I've obviously clearly gone down a different route to you.
Right.
Because mine is more technology based.
Yeah.
And I'm going to carry on with that because I'm going to work with what I've got here. But that's why we don't talk about this.
You.
We've already seen the tech, although it's not on release yet, but it's going to explode. A bit like how VR did. All of a sudden, everybody's like, oh, Oculus is coming. Oculus is coming. Yeah. Oh, wait a sec, everybody's got their own version of Oculus.
Yep.
HoloLens. Ooh. Which is something that Microsoft were touting a couple of years ago. Have you seen this HoloLens stuff?
Is this the kind of Google Glass type?
Sort of, yeah. It's essentially apparently what they've shown so far with the actual HoloLens is that have been created for prototypes and the rest of it is there's a very narrow field of vision, but essentially a pair of glasses you put on, and what it does is it is in essence a computer screen projecting onto the surfaces that it can read in the room. So it's the hollow part is the whole holographic type thing. Nothing's actually being projected in front of people other than what is projected onto the glass itself. And so this is going to be much more. 10 years time, this is going to be much more what's around. Is this? I've heard a ruffle of paper.
There's a ruffle of paper, and this is just to prove that. Right.
Go on.
This is my 25 years.
25. I've got great expectations then.
But read the first two sentences aloud to the people.
25 years. Augmented reality glasses will replace TVs and monitors. They will be capable of VR-style 3D, but will mostly just react to large plane shared areas on walls, billboards, etc., and have a shared experience. I agree. However, I don't necessarily agree with the shared experience.
Okay.
Because I'm going very much down the same route.
No, I just thought it's quite interesting that.
But the tech is actually already in development for this.
Yeah.
And they showed it 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
What they did was to show the girl on the stage at E3 had the glasses on, but they had a camera which was essentially projecting it, and they moved the camera around, and they had Minecraft around. It's Microsoft. The HoloLens label is a Microsoft thing. They had like a plain square block table. It was like literally a white block.
Yeah.
And they were playing Minecraft on it. And it wasn't. I don't think it's particularly easy to play. I don't know. It's part gaming, part kind of social media and whatnot. But imagine having a plain white room, which I think we should alluding to here, where you walk into it. This plain white room with your glasses on looks like it doesn't. It's whatever you want it to look like. Yeah. And people can walk in and see whatever you want. But imagine the same thing, but it's whatever. It doesn't have to be what they want you to see. It'd be whatever you want to see. So you could have people sitting there looking at the same plain wall instead of TVs. Because you've said that it will replace TVs. Yeah. There'll be, if you're looking at this white part of the wall, there will be a TV on it. Yeah. There'll be it won't be a TV. It'll be a screen. On it projecting. One of you will be watching a comedy. One of you will be watching a horror. One of you will be watching. If you want to.
So
if you want to.
Yeah. What I was saying with my shared experience, sorry, just because we might as well share this one.
Share this one.
Is that it would be capable of it. So basically you would still be able to do things like go to the cinema. So you would sit in shared areas where there is just like this large white box at the front, and you would all watch the same movie and you would still have the same shared experience. But what I also said was that advertising will work this way as well as work and leisure spaces.
I saw a really interesting show.
So this is where the individuals come in, is the fact that me and you would walk down the street. And we would walk past, 3 or 4 white boards, and I'd look at it, and it would show, condoms for well-endowed men. And you'd look at it, and it would show condoms for very small penis men.
Mushroom dicks all the way. Yeah.
So it would be targeted to the people. But I mean, in existence, that's where I see.
The advertising thing. I've seen that they're already doing this on TV, where on soaps and the like. Yeah. Or even on BBC shows, like you watch on, I don't know, pick a popular, like something like Sherlock or Luther or that. I think you'll have what they do is they film it with a green, like with I don't know, it'll be white or it'll be green, something that stands out from the background that they can then project whatever advert they want. So, and the idea of that is that if you watch you watch that show live, you'll get an advert. Then you watch the show in 10 years, you're going to have this relative 10 years later. And people obviously still pay for that advertising space. Do it with movies. Imagine the capacity of that. But you watch. What always stands out in my mind is the movie Cobra with Stallone in it from the 80s. Right. There's a bit where there's so much Pepsi product placement in that. There's one point he goes out in his hotel and he's standing in front of this ginormous neon Pepsi logo sign. But imagine that, but change that out. There's power to that. Do I agree with it? I don't know. But in theory, you'd also, if it's done correctly, be able to, when you record this TV show, when you rewatch it, that could still be tapped in. Like, obviously, you're watching the physical recording, but it would still be able to read whatever code was on that wall.
Was at that time,
And you can change it as you rewatch it. It could be a different advert. True. In theory. But the whole HoloLens thing, the idea would be that you could go into your mate's house and you'd see what he wants you to see. You could see what you want to see. You have a house full of kids. You have a house with 3.4 children, or even 4.4 or 2.4 is what it's supposed to be. But things are going. They've been playing different games, different walls. The problem you're going to have with these things right now is that people walk in front of you, it blocks stuff, it makes them go squiffy. You have a plain table to do it on, and people leave crap on tables. And
it's why I thought this is a 25 year thing for me. But
I thought maybe you got about 10 years now. There's a different world. But I think the HoloLens thing has legs. The tech they've shown for it so far is great in a kind of this is where we could go with it. People aren't going to be playing Minecraft. They're not. They're going to be playing. Imagine a social media aspect rather than looking on Facebook at someone's wall, but they're a bit like, oh, I went here today. It's on the walls all around you.
That's the thing.
But only whilst you're wearing the glasses, of course. And
I think the reason that will in gaming far succeed above VR is that it still allows, whilst it's more immersive than just watching a screen, it still allows movie makers, game makers, content makers to direct the action. And I think that's the biggest problem that's going to be with VR, is that if you look at any movie or you look at any TV show, or not being funny, you look at like 50% at least of games, the art direction's decided that it wants that camera to be there so you can see this.
Yes.
You know, there's no point playing a Resident Evil game
if you're looking in the corner of
the
room.
If the moment that the monster pops out of the lake, you're looking up. You're looking over.
Well, this is
towards
what
the
they do with the VR thing. Because like you say, 3D movies. You have to have stuff going on all over the place, so you can't focus. You can't set a real focal point. Very well. Even if you put a bit of noise direction, saying, "Oh, the shark's coming behind you," people might still be looking up there. They're like, "Oh, look what happens when you look up."
Exactly.
Because the shark ain't going to scare me because I know it can't get me. It's
so that's the thing. I still think this. There will always be that focal point, but I just think that how we take the information from that focal point will be more personal.
Yeah, and I also think, you'll get to the point, I don't think in 10 years by a long shot, more like you're 25, where people will begin to decorate their homes in a plain white, as much plain white as they can, because they want people to see it how they want to see it.
Yeah.
You would have to have wallpapers on the wall, because you'd see it when you've got your glasses on. But... Yeah. Right, okay, that was me and you, but let's jump you to 25. That was your 25.
That was my 25.
Do you want to go back 10?
Do you want my 10? Okay, this is confusing.
We're going back.
Back in time. Back to the future.
Yeah.
Hey.
We're going to go back.
My 10 year. I mean, this is pretty obvious, but...
Just going to bring me back down to earth now. Because I'm my 25 yet.
I mean, it is. It's pretty obvious it's happening now, but I think 10 years will be the point that we... definitely have no more consoles. There will not be the box.
I think that ultimately you're right. I think what is keeping us with the box and the games more specifically.
Yeah.
And I had a big think about this because of this topic actually. Because I cannot stand the idea of spending £60 on a download.
Yeah,
I can't. It does not compute. I would not do that. Obviously, there will be examples where when they finally bite the bullet and say we're not going to release this physically.
Yeah,
you have to pay £60 for it. That you have to make a choice. But we're not there. We're quite a long way from there. And I think the line on a lot of this, I started thinking, why do people even buy the downloads at that price? Do you know why? And this argument came about, this goes back to something I read years ago, about somebody who was talking about, this was back when PlayStations and Sega Saturns were about, and there was somebody saying, oh, which one do you want? Which one do you have? And this kiddie wrote into a magazine saying, I've got both.
Yeah.
It's like people keep saying that you have to be rich to have both. It's fine, my parents bought both of mine. And there's the crux of it, the people who are buying these downloads aren't the people playing these downloads, really.
Right.
Unless, there are exceptions to this, of course there are. But I think a lot of the time, my nephew, based a lot of my buy a download in a second. Do you know why? It's not his money.
Yeah.
If I buy something, lifetime gamer, if I buy something, I like the physical copy of things.
Yeah.
I always have done. And there will be a market for that, but that market will slowly peter off ultimately. But will the new market, when they realise that it's their own money paying for this stuff, will they still do it? I don't think that they will jump on it as much as they were when they were younger, when they weren't the ones actually fronting the cash for it. But I will buy stuff for downloads for my daughter.
Yeah.
It will happen.
But this is the thing. This is where I go on. So I say there will be no more consoles. Streaming will be king, and it will be a dark time for gamers' wallets.
It will be a dark time.
Because my assumption is that someone will try to become the Netflix of video games.
It's already started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they will fail. And they will fail and fail and fail.
No, my Google. My Google gonna fail?
My Google. Yeah, I think Google will fail.
I read it again. There was a Metro that put this article out
because
they said that if you think that the Stadia is going to win, then they don't know games.
Yeah.
Because you can't go into this market doing what you're doing, saying that your killer app is Destiny 2.
Yeah.
In 2019.
But also, they don't know publishers.
No, they don't.
Because the publishers, they like the money. What I'm saying is, what will happen is it will be a great time at first, where there will be a couple of players that will come into the market.
It's going to be lots of EA and crap in it. It's got to be. Yeah.
And they will bring out big galleries of games for $7.99 a month, and you'll be like, this is golden, or £20 a month, or whatever it is, like this. And then what you'll get into is you'll get the HBO come in. and say
Disney Plus.
Yeah, and say, well, no, we don't want our games to be involved in that 20 quid. That's not a big enough cut for us.
Of the game,
that's not a big enough cut for us. So you want to play HBO games, you've got to pay 15 quid to us, HBO Plus. Yeah. And I think sooner or later, you will get to a point where you're paying subscriptions to play these games, but you have to pay everyone that you want to play.
This is, all the publishers. I mean, it's same with movies, like you say, movies and TV, Amazon Prime versus Netflix. Netflix is the clear winner of that right now, but there are a few things on the other. But then what's to say, like, we've got Disney Plus launching, we've got the WWE doing their own channel, and all stuff like that, and that's stuff that only they have, but the content they have is immense too. There's stuff that you forgot even existed, going back years, that all of a sudden becomes available at a click. And it's not like, it's going to be there for months. No. You've got... And
each of them will be great, but what I'm saying is you don't want to be... You're sat there going, I don't want to spend £60 on a download.
No.
But you'll end up being in the situation where, like... 2K, for example. Yep. You want to play all the Borderland games? 2K, that's it, it's 15 quid a month. And you think, 15 quid a month, play all the Borderland games, that's all right. 4 months of that.
And you won't do it anymore.
You've already bought the game.
And they can't spin out games fast enough to cover themselves for that.
So that's
they have to start, It's, I also read, because Sony have recently dropped the price of their PlayStation Now subscriptions, and for a limited time, God of War... It was announced for PlayStation Classics, whatever, but GTA 5 is on there.
Right.
I think until the new year. And apparently, like, you read about it, you're like, people want to play that. I mean, it's just an old game now. Let's be honest. It's a great game. It's phenomenal. But they said, they paid a lot to get that, get them to give that away.
I wonder how games as service work with DLC purchases.
This is why they've now shifted to you, because initially it was streaming. PlayStation Now was pure streaming, and then now they've shifted it. Actually, you can download it and just play it. So the streaming drops.
But you can play it as long as you're. It's similar as PS Plus, isn't it? You can play it as long as you're paying.
Yeah, same as Netflix.
But what I'm saying is that at the moment you buy GTA 5, and you spend loads of money on your GTA Online character, real money, to buy him new cars and hats and faces.
They're saying you can do all of that on these streaming services. It's all...
but what I'm saying is when you've bought GTA 5 for money, and you've bought that DLC for money, you always have access to it.
Yeah, but that's not how it's going to work.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So it's quite interesting that you would be buying DLC for a game that you might not have access to in 6 months' time.
Yeah, exactly. It sucks. Which is why certain people, self-included, won't be sold on it. I mean, until it's the only option, until they bite the bullet and give me saying that I can't get anywhere else. That's what it's going to be. Yeah, but I think the model is coming in. It clearly is. It's not going. Will it last? I don't know. I think exactly what you're saying now. If you compare it to its peers, Netflix and that. Netflix is starting to get its competition in now.
Yeah, that's what
Netflix
I'm saying,
was considering Fortnite its biggest competitor because they're talking about screen time in general, not actual streaming competitors.
Yeah.
Because they didn't consider anybody else that's out there right now, Amazon included, to be their level that they need to worry about.
Yeah.
But soon will be.
Yeah.
So, interesting. 25 years for Chris.
We can finish off on your 25s.
Well, this is an obvious one that we all want to talk about, but I'll go into why.
The nuclear holocaust.
No, it's not. It's not actually as simple as I'm going to put it, but I said I'd try and sum it up in a word. Holodecks. But I'm not talking hard light, because that is not a thing.
No.
But I'm more thinking HoloLenses without the lenses.
Yeah.
So picture this, that you play, like, games are, like, so the idea that you will be able to play stuff that's in front of you, and you'll be able to look at it, walk around, and see it from all angles.
Yeah.
It's essentially in the room, but it's not really there. It's like the augmented reality on your phone without the phone.
Yeah.
It's literally there. You're not going to be playing your traditional games on this stuff.
Yeah.
You're going to be playing much more stuff along the lines of the kind of Quantic Dreams immersive and the Telltale game
experiences rather than.
And that's the way a lot of these games and gaming's going to change. They're going to change the name. They're going by 25 years' time. gaming is going to get to the point. It's game because I not just out of pure fandom, but I don't think gaming is going anywhere. I think gaming is growing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I think the fact that it's called gaming at some point is going to cap it, and all of a sudden they're going to start calling it something else, and then they're going to start giving awards and Oscars equivalents based on it being called something else.
Yeah,
because it's going to go that way because it isolates people. It's got its niche, and it's going to become just another medium that people consider. But essentially, it's born from having gaming. You know, you're going to get your kind of branching storyline type games, but playing out in front of you. Yeah. And all the rest of that. You know, you're going to play Mario. You can put your HoloLens on and look at the wall.
Do you think? Actually,
you won't even have to look at the HoloLens. Look at the wall. You'll just be able to project. That stuff is just going to be popping up. If you ask it.
So this is my prediction to go along with that, and this we have to be very grown up about this. Do you know who I think is going to pay for that?
Who's going to pay that?
Porn. The porn industry.
Do you? Because we haven't talked about that yet, but I mean the HoloLens.
So much technology, so much of the technology we have today, and this is quite interesting if you're grown up enough to think about it. Is driven from the porn industry. Yeah. So things like paying for things online, the online card buying, card system,
even the video streaming, video streaming,
broadband. All of these things were driven by
VR. Even
were driven by the desire to watch pornography, pay for pornography, prove that you're over 18, all of these things. There was a hell of a lot of technology driven by the huge amounts of money put into the porn industry. And not being funny, when you're talking about, being able to walk around a room, see things in almost realistic things, that voyeuristic side of it is going to be absolute work hand in hand with the porn industry.
Let's be honest, it's the porn aside. The voyeuristic aspect of things, every game you play now has a camera mode in it. Yeah. For example, and people just walk around and just look at stuff, and they can. It's like, okay, this is my world now. I'm gonna look over here, go look there, go look down there, go look up there. It expands from that. Yeah. It's a similar idea, like you say, and I think that'll be a factor in it. Absolutely.
But the difference is just the amount of money. Even now, when people are like streaming for free and stuff like this, even now, like the amount of money in pornography is horrific.
Well, you'll be able to project, instead of projecting videos, you're going to be able to project people in your room. You're not going to be able to touch them, you're not going to do anything. Stuff's going to get in the way of it, it's going to glitch out and all the rest of it, like it does, because none of these things are perfect as they are in the TV. Yeah. But if you can project something like that, anything in the middle of the room, then that's what it'll be. Yeah. There's a downside to this beyond that downside, depending on your take on that. But I reckon there's going to be a whole new wave of kind of support subjects from the government for people who are, streaming their home videos of their exes and dead relatives, and not being able to let go of that because they can have a free version in their front room. Yeah, yeah. And it's going to create a whole new aspect to that, which needs to be taken into consideration if all this stuff's unleashed to the public. It will be unleashed to the public before that stuff's ready, because frankly, Facebook was.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Because the thing is, you don't know about the mental issues that come with things until you've experienced it for 25 years.
To be perfectly honest, we do, but the legislation's too slow to keep up with it. But that'll be a factor to it. But you'll also, you'll be able to. So imagine this. Okay, you used to have games that came out which used to be able to put music CD in. Yeah. Let's take, there was a game Vib Ribbon on the PS1. Yeah. Put music CD in, and it built a little level around it, and it was all to do with, you had about 4 different, you had moved map to each of the PlayStation buttons. Yeah. It'd be like a loop, a jump, a little kind of phase thing, and there's, you put your favourite CD in, and the level would build itself around that sound. Yeah. And that was fun, because it had a bit of a rhythm to it. You could do it with... Guitar Hero, you buy tracks.
Audio Surf, I used to play. I don't know if you ever played that.
No, but it's a similar idea, I imagine.
It was basically just like, if you imagine like Wipeout, but the pace of the levels and the build of the levels was based on the rhythm of the song that you were listening to. You could put any song into it, and it would procedurally generate a song.
And if you put the same song in, you generally get the same level.
Yeah, exactly.
If you know what I mean, it's not like a random level around a song. It's like, this song does this level. Barcode battlers all over the place. Imagine that with a room. Imagine that with open space.
Yeah.
Imagine having a platformer that is based on the room you're in.
Yeah.
And imagine if you take that and take it around your mate's house or take it to the park.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you've got a game based or something around within a 20-metre radius of you.
Yeah.
Imagine like an RC racing game where you could go wherever you like, little RC car and bomb it around the park.
Yeah.
But you don't have to buy the cars, you just have to have I think things like controllers will still exist.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we will have, in 25 years at least, there's going to be an interface that beats it.
Yeah.
Because we're trying it now, but everything that comes in fails.
Yeah.
Because people like a certain element of control, which is just, they can't build, like Microsoft are the main example there with all of their Connect kind of activities. They've fallen on their face. They're just not good enough. And I think that that having something with absolute control in that kind of very little world is going to be still needed. But yeah, imagine going to the park on a sunny day and playing RC cars without the need to buy cars. In fact, you could buy the extra little bits around it and you'd be changing bombing it around what you're doing. Imagine playing Tony Hawk's in the park, again, controlling your mini Tony, or whatever it might be, going around whatever the hell you wanted, that it could map to where you were.
Are you insinuating that people will leave the house?
I'm insinuating I think it'll take a time.
Yeah.
Because that's another mental health issue that we'll have to come across. But I think, to be honest, I stand by this, I know people have seen it, I still haven't seen people outside with a Switch yet.
Yeah.
But I think that the applications to it, maybe the applications to a lot of things are bigger than they ever will be. Because I don't see Pokemon Goers anymore, but I know they're out there. But yeah, you will get people that can genuinely go and do stuff outside with their friends or on their own. If they see somebody else doing it, it will be like the old arcade arcade days, where somebody will be playing Ninja Turtles, which is a 4-player game on their own. And somebody will come up like, they'll either ask, "Well, I'll just join you." You're sitting there playing with your fake RC car in the park, and be like, "Want a race?"
Yeah.
You'll get a little bit of that back.
Yeah.
And I think that's a beautiful thing, that principle, because all of a sudden the real world and where you are, as long as you're not standing in traffic, because you'd have to almost zone this to a degree.
That's definitely going to happen.
Probably the worst will happen before that happens. But yeah, you imagine having, being able to have a bit of interaction. Next thing you know, you've made almost a social media style friend in reality, and it humanises it again. I don't know, bright future, I think.
Oh, that's a nice thing to end on.
I think it is. I think there's a dip into the dark, but ultimately there is light on that.
The future's bright. The future's orange. That's not even a thing.
Future's gaming. It's not gaming. Whatever we call gaming, then.
The future is thinging. Let's leave it there.
Bit out there this week, wasn't it?
A bit out there. Crazy times. We talked about porn.
You did. You brought porn into the conversation, and I didn't shoot it down.
Porncast.
So
yeah, we've nerded out.
And what is out?
Boom shakalaka.
Boom
time.
Okay, boom. Thanks for listening. If you've heard our words and are hungry for more, you can find us at nerdoutwordout.com or on Twitter at nerdout_wordout, or you can search our new channel on YouTube.